Hi, everybody. I'm Dawn. I'm your astrologer, and I'm here to talk to you about the new moon in Libra occurring on the 6th. This is a very potent initiatory new moon with some powerful energies happening just in the wake of it in the week to come, really within an hour or so of the new moon. So what we have going on is a new moon in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. Libra is the sign of balance and harmony and grace and justice. We have a Libra stellium because the sun is there. Mars is there and Mercury is there. This new moon occurs when the moon joins the sun. It happens at 13 degrees. And Mercury is close by at 20 degrees, but the sun, moon, and Mars create a triple conjunction during this new lunar cycle, which is kicking off. This is so potent. There's so much to say about it. Mercury has been slowing down our action and at least allowing us to think about our action represented by Mars. And now that the moon has joined, our emotions are involved in this. So we are thinking about our new goals, our new intentions, and how to take new action during this new moon because it's in the sign of Libra, which is justice and balance, with Mercury, our voice, our throat chakra, Mars, our ego identity, our passion, our action. We may see a lot of outburst or speaking up or really loud communication about what is just, what is right, especially for ourselves, because this new moon has an opposition that is created to Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries, which is at 10 degrees of Aries and is ruled by Mars. So here is Mars in this new moon triple conjunction, and it is opposing its own sign of Aries, or Chiron in its own sign of Aries. And so Chiron is our health and wellness as well. And so Mars wants to take some action, wants to create some justice around what our own health and wellness is, our own boundaries, and our own truths. Yet there may be some explosive outburst in relation to that because Mars is the god of war. And so you will see some really standing up loudly about what their personal rights are in terms of health and wellness during this new moon. Now, the new moon is in a square to Pluto retrograde in the sign of Capricorn at 24 degrees, and in a trine, a harmonious aspect, a supportive aspect to Jupiter, the planet of luck and abundance and expansion, in the sign of Aquarius. It's at 22 degrees. It's a make or break, do or die, use it or lose it, critical degree of expansion. So we want to really think about this and expand in a balanced, harmonious way. You know, Libra is the sign of partnership. So this is really, how do we set the intention to move forward in our own truth and in our own voice and in our own action, representing our own creativity, and still get along with others and allow them to do the same thing, even if it's not the same as us. So Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter all are moving direct in the month of October. This is a huge shift coupled with this Libra stellium and the Mercury retrograde. So what is going to happen is it's a shift into forward momentum. It's a shift into action. Pluto is retrograding in the sign of Capricorn, the structures that support our daily lives, the old indoctrination programming that really has been undergoing a demolition process when Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto were in a stellium during 2020. Pluto's still there. Jupiter and Saturn have moved into Aquarius, and Pluto is stationing direct. It's headed towards Aquarius now, within the next 2 years to join Jupiter and Saturn. And so with Pluto stationing direct, this really allows us to really examine why we're letting go of some things from the past and the need to. It purges our personal power to do that. So Mercury has been allowing us to really examine, what do we value? Ruled by Venus, the ruler of Libra. what is balanced, what is harmonious, and what is important and in alignment in my partnerships and what is not. And Mars is over here examining that, learning how to take this balanced action. Mars is supposedly in detriment in Libra. I think it's a beautiful expression of Mars. It tampers down that explosiveness, which we could all use right now, especially with Mercury there as well. Another thing that's going on is that Venus, the ruler of Libra, has been in the sign of Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto. And originally Mars, the two rulers of Scorpio. Scorpio is the deep depths of our hidden psyche, what we really value, what we really love, and what that really means to us. And so Venus has been in this intense position in Scorpio. And the day after the new moon, Venus moves out of Scorpio on the 7th and into the sign of Sagittarius. And so that truth that has been purged with Pluto in Capricorn, now stationing direct, and Venus in the sign of Scorpio, and now moving out with that newfound truth. Pluto and Scorpio, this is what has been hidden within us. We really may realize some things that we used to think were really important or value. We don't value them anymore, and they don't feel harmonious. And so Pluto moving forward is allowing us to let go of those connections to those past partnerships, relationships, structures of our lives. And now we're moving Venus into Sagittarius, the fire sign that's ruled by Jupiter. And so this is much more fun-loving, much more diverse, much more easygoing expression of Venus, because Sagittarius really loves to examine all types of beliefs and all types of religions and all types of cultures. And so this gives us a more balanced way of expressing that and operating in that. As long as we're still in Libra season, we want to do that. And, Venus in Sagittarius really gives us the freedom to operate in the truth that has been discovered during this Mercury retrograde and during Venus's time in Scorpio. Also during the new moon, Mars will be in an inconjunct to Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus. So here is Mars in the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus, and an inconjunct to Uranus in Taurus, also ruled by Venus. And what this is it's a signal that we need to take some radical action. We need to do something differently. It's just not quite connecting yet, but it will. And the clarity comes, and the ability to make a decision and move forward comes after this new moon, as these outer planets start to station direct, and we have a clearer view of what Mercury retrograde was trying to show us. Now, Jupiter also stations direct late on the 17th, early on the 18th, and then Mercury stations direct also on the 18th. And so this is an optimistic expansion of the messages that we have received, whether that's internally or outwardly. We're processing that information, and now the clarity comes. We know how to expand into our future, operating in that deep soul truth. How to create those healthy boundaries, how to show our own self-value and still value others that think differently and act differently from us. On the 8th and 9th, the Sun and Mars and Mercury meet up again. Mars will conjunct the Sun at 16 degrees, and then the Sun will conjunct Mercury at 16 degrees. This is pretty potent because this creates another triple type conjunction at 16 degrees of Libra right after the new moon. And so Mars is our ego identity, now really ready to express itself and to take action based on our creative spark. And then this sets off a new 2-year Mars cycle. So the action that we take now and that we initiate now plays out over the next 2 years in this new Sun-Mars cycle. Also, Mercury conjunct the Sun, the heart of the Sun. This creates a Cazimi effect where it doesn't combust or burn up our voice, but it kind of illuminates it in a way and allows it to shine. And so this Mercury cazimi also starts off a new Mercury cycle once it connects with the sun in this fashion right after the new moon. And so this whole month is just super jam-packed with transition, a purging of truth, and then we get to operate in that truth, in that freedom of it, in the freedom of what we value, in this still, this tension of Saturn in Aquarius, the authority, squaring off against Uranus and Taurus. We want to make some tangible, radical changes. And we deal with that authority in our lives, whether it's inwardly, our own personal authority, or the outward authority we see in the world. But I think that we will start to have more freedom in our ability to operate in our own sovereignty after this huge shift in October. And so I'm so excited for that shift. This will play out for a long time. These outer planets, they don't just affect us in our everyday lives. This is a shift for quite a while, for months and years to come. Not to mention our personal planets that are kicking off these new cycles in our everyday lives with Mars and Mercury conjunct the sun on the 8th and 9th. And so we really are moving into a place where that truth that has been being examined and purged and revealed now has a vehicle to move forward without so much obstacle, so much suppression, so much blocking it. We will start to see the blockade crumble and the shift occurring and the clarity coming. And so I hope this gives you some hope and some optimism to move forward and to know that you're not alone. We're all going through this together. And so I wish you the happiest of new moon blessings.